Hi, in this video I'm going to explain the 4 most common parameters you will find in audio compressors, and I'm going to also explain the different types of compressors that you can use in your productions to get great mixes. My name is Tiago Duarte and welcome to Daily Beats, where I help you master the software so that it's just you and music. If you are new to the channel, subscribe and activate the notifications so that you are up to date with all the videos I publish about music production. Compressors are one of the most difficult tools to understand in music production. When I started making music professionally, I would use compressors but not really understand why I was using them. A few months ago I was mixing one of my beats and I thought to myself, this track doesn't need compression. For a long time I added compressors to all my tracks without too much thought. But after mixing hundreds of tracks, I started to get a better feeling of how and when to use compression to get the sounds that I want. You can get there too with practice and hopefully with the help of this video. The job of a compressor is to change the dynamic range of audio. You've probably heard about dynamic range a lot when it comes to audio and music production. Dynamic range is the ratio between the loudest and the quietest audio signal. As an example, a 24-bit audio system has a dynamic range of 144 decibels. With a compressor, we can decrease or compress the dynamic range of the audio by making the louder part of the audio quiet and making the quiet part of the audio louder. Some compressors can also work as expanders, which can increase the dynamic range by doing the opposite of compressing, making the louder part louder and the quiet part quieter. So why use compression? A common reason is to attenuate the loud peaks of a track. A good example is a vocal. A singer can have a large dynamic range while recording, and a compressor can help control it, making the hearing experience sound more pleasant. Let's talk about the 4 most common parameters in a compressor. They are threshold, ratio, attack, and release. The threshold determines when the compressor starts to compress audio. When the audio level exceeds the threshold, the compressor starts acting on the audio input. The ratio determines how much gain reduction will be applied to the audio. For example, a ratio of 4:1 means that if the input level is 4 dB higher than the threshold, the output level will be 1 dB higher than the threshold. Another way to say this is that the output will be 25% higher than the threshold level compared with the input. 25% is 1 divided by 4. When you set ratios higher than 20, the compressor starts acting like a limiter. The attack time is the amount of time the compressor takes to go from not compressing the audio to fully compressing the signal. The release time is the amount of time the compressor takes from fully compressing the signal to not compressing the signal. The attack is only relevant when the signal goes above the threshold and activates the compressor, and the release is only relevant when the signal goes below the threshold. In my opinion, the parameters are easy to understand, but why it's so hard to apply compression correctly? I think that compression is hard to understand because getting the right combination of threshold, ratio, attack, and release is not trivial. Like everything in music, you need experience and practice. Let's take a look at several types of compressors. There are VCA, FET, optical, and tube compressors. The VCA, or voltage controlled amplifier, uses a VCA circuit to control the gain reduction. These are very common compressors and they offer low distortion, fast attack and release times, and have a transparent sound. These types of compressors are reliable and they provide precise control and predictable sound. They are used a lot in buses or groups of instruments. The FET compressor is a compressor that uses field effect transistors to control the gain reduction. These compressors have very fast attack and release times, and they have non-linear compression, which adds character via harmonic distortion. These compressors work best with individual instruments like vocals, guitars, kicks, etc. Optical compressors use a light-dependent resistor to control the gain reduction. These types of compressors generally have low distortion due to the light-dependent resistor and have slower attacks and release times compared with the FET, and they are less clean than the VCI compressors. They sound great at the end of a vocal processing chain to glue everything together. Tube compressors use analog tubes to control the gain reduction. The tube compressors have soft knees and have the slowest attack and release times compared to the previous types of compressors. They add analog coloration to the audio and slight harmonic distortion. They are a great tool to use on a group of instruments or main buses because of the slow attack and release times to keep transients intact. So let's recap what we have learned in this video. The threshold allows you to set the level at which the compressor will compress the audio. The ratio allows you to set how much gain reduction the compressor will apply to the audio above the threshold level. The attack time allows you to set how much time it will take for the compressor to start reducing the gain of the audio above the threshold. The release allows you to control how much time it will take for the compressor to stop reducing the audio when the audio goes below the threshold. Thanks for watching the video until the end. If you learned something with this video, please leave a like and let me know in the comments what you would like me to talk about next. If you want to support this channel, subscribe and activate the notifications so that you stay up to date with Daily Beats, where I teach you how to master the software so that it's just you and music. Peace.